Welcome to the Tine Talk Podcast, sponsored by Rack Fuel, premium deer nutrition. Fuel your herd.
All right, Tine Talk, episode 6. Here with the Eid boys today. No Dustin Nelson in sight. He's got family duties to take care of. We got a couple
dad duties.
Yep, he's got a sick wife and a sick kid. But what do you do? At least we got the Eid boys here. Podcast 6. What should we talk about today?
Might as well recap the Wisconsin gun season.
Yeah, that's
you
a
already
good
put
idea.
one down. You shed some blood.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We didn't podcast last week because it was Thanksgiving and everyone was busy, but gun season was, last week already? It finished.
Yep.
And opening day, I shot a pretty nice buck, 5.5-year-old, that I nicknamed Norm. He actually came in after I shot a doe that night. And as I was loading the doe in the back of the Ranger, I failed the first attempt and it fell to the ground. And I look over and I'm like, oh my God, that looks like a nice buck. Picked up my scope. I was like, damn, that is a nice buck. Got a clip in. I mounted the GoPro right to the front of the Ranger and like slowly crept up to a tree and kind of like just slowly came around the tree and saw that he was running off. And then got my scope on him and he stopped for a little bit and shot him and dropped him right there. It was pretty
That's
epic.
got to go down as one of the more eventful kills that you've had.
Oh, yeah.
We
That
didn't
was
even talk
wild.
about. We didn't even talk about that really. I didn't know you were right next to the Ranger.
Yeah. I literally,
pretty awesome.
I hid behind the Ranger for probably 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Because after I got my clip in, he looked back and he was looking at me for like 5 minutes straight. I was like, Jesus, this is never going to work out. But
Do
then
you know which one it was right away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was coming in to take a drink. Well, the only reason I got down early was because my dad texted me and he shot a doe. So he wanted to help to getting her out. And I had to pick up Parker yet. So I'm like, damn, I better get down early and get out my doe and get over there. But, yeah, I think I shot him around like 4:30 or something like that. So, I mean, it was late.
Is he a local buck that you've had quite a few pictures of over the years?
Yeah, he's been around for the last 3-4 years now. He just hadn't grown at all from 3.5. He's either 5 or 6. I'm not 100% sure, but he's just one of those shitty older bucks that you like to harvest. Yeah.
And he's been the same the last couple of years, or basically?
Yeah, he was a 8-pointer. Yeah, he was an 8-pointer with tiny brow tines 2 years ago. Last year was a 9-pointer again, and this year is a 9-pointer. I mean, he was on the cameras almost year-round, but I just could never catch up with him. Like, I hunted him quite a bit this year with the bow even, and just could never catch up with him or Haspula, that other buck that I was after this year. But, yeah, finally got him on the ground. That one felt good.
It's always a little disappointing when you see a buck. Like, I mean, when we had Billy and then even Ray last year, like from the year to year, when you see them don't make that jump.
Yeah.
And especially, I suppose, after 2 years, it's like, well, what the hell's this guy's problem?
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know how much plays a factor on, like, I hear a lot of people say wet springs really, like, help antler growth and, like, really easy winters on them, which makes sense. But I feel like 2 years ago, 2 years ago, that summer was one of the worst, like, growing years I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, there was only 1 or 2 deer that made a really good jump. And my dad shot a buck 2 years ago, and it did not jump at all. We called that one Tiago. Remember that one with the little splits? He didn't. I think he got smaller from 4 to 5. Yeah. Which is wild.
Like you're talking about Billy, he was definitely didn't hardly get bigger at all, I don't think.
Billy, R.I.P.
Yeah.
The story.
Yeah. Yeah, but it wasn't, I saw some deer gun season, but nothing too crazy. Had one, I think I only saw one buck, actually. I mean, I saw a bunch of does, but we had this one big 7-frame. He came busting through past me. I'm guessing he got bumped by the neighbors, but other than that, I mean, it was pretty chill. So a little bit of shooting around us, a couple bucks that went down, but
At 7, we were looking at those pictures we got of him during or the last couple of days of the 9-day, and we're questioning whether he got shot or not in the back legs. There's a mark on each side of his rear end. I don't know if it's a gunshot or not, but there's definitely a gouge out of there.
You just had a picture of him tonight or last night. I think I deleted the picture because he was kind of off in the distance a little bit, but
I didn't even notice it then.
Yeah.
We forgot the cheers about the big buck.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
Yeah.
My bad.
We started that for Jake. I'm like, might as well keep it a tradition. Damn.
Well, that makes 2.
Yes,
2
sir.
BCOD bucks.
2 for 4. That ain't bad so far.
No.
Anyway, what were you saying?
We got time. Oh, but with that 7-pointer, I'm not sure if that would have been a gunshot or not. I just feel like you take a rifle to both back legs
Man,
that deer, I don't know if he's going to be walking around so much, but
yeah,
it is like what you said. I mean, it lines up perfectly on both back legs, but
yeah,
I don't know. That seems like
the one side is definitely worse than the other, and it's definitely a wound of some sort. But I don't know, it's weird. So hopefully get another picture of him soon. But
yeah,
it's wild how many deer you see like during gun season that are injured.
Oh yeah,
like limping and stuff.
Never
they got
fails.
A rough run, Buffalo County. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we were talking about it already last time, but that one that got shot in the face last year on our place, that sucked.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, it seems like a couple get wounded.
Well, whenever you hear just a melee of rounds going off, you're like, okay, I mean, that deer is running, or it's alive, and that guy is trying to knock it down.
It's hard not to laugh when you're sitting there and all of a sudden, bang, like 4, 5, 6 times in a row. It's like, no, I don't think you hit that one. I don't think you got that one.
Yeah, but it wasn't even the weather wasn't terrible either. I mean, it was a lot warmer than last year. I mean, last year was freezing, but couldn't really complain about it.
Saturday I sat all day in the same blind that I normally sit opening day of gun, and normally I see probably 20 to 25 deer throughout the day. And this year I think I only saw like 10 to 12, not being picky or whatever. That's still a good amount of deer, but it's just a little slower this year. Yep. Everybody else was saying the same too that I've talked to. A couple people have shot some big ones, but I don't think they saw near as good a movement as last year with that cold weather.
Yeah,
it was really nice.
I definitely didn't. I think I saw one little tiny buck during the whole gun season, and then does here and there. I shot a coyote, but that was not my entire excitement of the whole 9-day for me. But it kind of seems like how it normally is where we hunt for gun season. It's always pretty slow, I think. Like nobody's moving the deer like we're talking about. And I think you just there's plenty of cover around on some of the neighbors. They just hunker down and lay low for.
They seem to really like those spots during gun season, those really thick spots, especially if they're still after does pretty hard, because I feel like that's a really good spot for them to like bring a doe and just hang out there all day.
Well, and that's the thing about Wisconsin gun is, I mean, you're at the tail end of the rut, and then, I mean, the deer, I mean, you got to think that they have a sense of the heightened pressure going on, because, I mean, our cameras have been pretty damn slow the last few weeks. I mean,
same.
There's a few days there where we weren't even hardly getting any buck pictures.
Yep.
So I think it's kind of that period too where you need to give it a week or so, let things kind of calm down a little bit, let them settle back in, and then it'll be food sources be like crazy.
Big time.
We had one heartbreaker that we know of. One of our young studs got killed during the 9-day, but two nice 10-pointers, or the ones at 11.
Yeah, Wemby.
That you call Wemby, and then the other real wide 10, we got pictures of them just recently, so they're both still alive, so that's nice. You got any young up-and-comers that you know got killed?
Yeah. There was one that I passed up on November 4th. He walked like 20 yards away from me, and I was like, damn, I really hope I can see you next year. I don't know if he was 3 or 4, but I had a lot of pictures of him, and he went right over the hill there, and the neighbors got him, which the guy that hunts next to us, he told me that it was his grandpa's first buck in like 15 years or so you can't really be mad about that.
Well, yeah, and it's the same with ours too. Like, I watched the neighbors pull it out, and it was probably a 12, 14-year-old kid, so it's, I mean, you have to assume that's one of his first ones or biggest bucks, but
oh yeah, for sure.
So you can't really complain. And we still got Marino, that 10-pointer. He's been very frequent on ours all year, so He should be a nice buck. He's got some nice threes. And then Wemby, he's the one that I'm jacked for.
How old's that one?
I think Wemby's 3.
3?
Because his body in some of the pictures is
Tiny.
just tiny, but he's just got the beams and the tines that really do something special.
But he's wide and
Yeah.
he's got nice tine length and just a nice frame.
His brows kind of suck, but
is he an 11? Right?
Yeah.
He just looks like that type of deer that could be
yeah,
really nice.
for sure.
Yeah. Dang.
But
there's one that we have on camera that just showed up the other day that's got a unicorn point kind of coming off the middle of his forehead. It's pretty sweet. It'll be interesting to see how he grows next year.
it's a little more promising after gun season's done and
Exactly.
all of a sudden you get some more pictures rolling in and you're like, yes, there he is.
He's got a really good chance of living if he makes it past that second weekend.
For sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Which Wemby, we haven't had a picture of him since the 24th, so it was the Friday before the last weekend, but
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Knock
it's
on
never
wood.
on him. I thought
Yeah.
it was after the 9-day, but it was just that wide 10. Huh? That
Wide
was
10
today
and Merino, yeah.
Okay.
So I guess you never know, but I
I
feel like,
probably just jinxed it.
yeah,
That's why I said knock on
I
wood.
feel like not many people get out the last 2 days or so.
Yeah.
Probably
I mean-
a little burnt out from Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
and
Probably
everything.
only the people that only gun hunt. They're like, I got to get out there. I only got 9 days to do
Yeah.
this. Yeah. I didn't even hunt that Sunday after I shot that buck in the doe.
Yeah.
I could have brought my bow, I guess, but I woke up that next morning, took some pictures for our neighbor across the road, took some self-timer pics for myself, and went over to Cade Brenner. He shot a really nice buck and helped him out. Took some pictures for him, and then just hung out pretty much. Got the rut report from everybody else, texting everybody what they were seeing.
Yep. But I'll go for it.
I was just gonna say now it's if we're gonna go late season
Yep.
like we last year we had some pictures of Ray late season. Kind of want to try that out this year. We're gonna focus on some food here soon. I would imagine, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, man, I don't know that we just have way more pictures of him last year. I shouldn't say a lot more, but we've only had, I think,
There hasn't been
3
very
rounds
many.
of pictures of him. I mean,
Yeah.
and it was like September 29th, like November 4th or something, and then the 12th. So it's like,
Yeah.
this guy's just,
Yeah.
Well, there hasn't been any pictures of him during or after gun season either. But I'm
that's a buck that you
I'm
think.
almost
you would've
positive we
known.
would have
Yeah.
heard about somebody killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with all the people we know in the area.
Yeah. That's very true.
So yeah, I don't know, but like you were saying earlier, like it's kind of the time too where late season now are you going to move your cameras around more food sources and
Yeah.
because I think it is supposed to cool off a little bit more. I know there's some snow coming this weekend,
Sounds money.
but
Next weekend is the T-zone for Wisconsin too.
yeah, you got muzzleloader right now until
Yep.
next Wednesday.
Yep. And the weather's kind of been crappy the first, was it Sunday? No, it started on Monday. So Monday was a really good day to go out. Actually, it was cold. Like it was 10 degrees out, I think.
Yeah,
Still
that
had a
one
little
morning
bit
it
of
was like
snow.
6 or something like
Yeah.
that. And then was it yesterday was 40, 42 or something kind of
Yep.
warmed up. But
Yep. Yeah, these 40s aren't really helping them, but hopefully the other bucks. Well, I feel like people that muzzleload hunt are pretty diehard though too. So
yeah, I
they're
don't know
out
if there's
there-
too many muzzleloader
Yeah.
hunters, but
yeah, I've never even shot a muzzleloader in my life, honestly.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, I
I go every year at least a day or two with Dad's muzzleloader.
Do you shoot it every year?
Yeah, probably one shot. But
Make
I've
sure it's
never killed a deer with one though.
nope.
Never even had a shot at one with a muzzleloader.
I used to go out with Chanson, and we used to bring Chanson's muzzleloader out there, just open
Chad
sight.
Hansen.
Yeah, that's what.
I think he missed one with one last year. Shout out Chad, attaboy.
Oh no, kid, no.
Yeah, the two we have are just open sites too.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, we need to get a scope on there. Even if it's something real cheapy, it's like not like going to be shooting super far anyway.
No, and it's one weekend basically. Yeah, I might go out Saturday. I could use some meat, maybe smack a doe with the
That'd be nice.
muzzleloader. Maybe bring the camera. There was
Yeah.
just 5 or 6 baldies at the pond the other night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I feel like they're more grouped up now than they have been because they're finally kind of off the rut more. The bucks are, some bucks are still cruising a little bit for those late probably fawns or whatever ones are still in heat a little bit. But yeah, I feel like they're grouping back up. Does and fawns are all getting back together, and once you get that first like really good snowstorm and cold front, I feel like it's gonna be so many deer piling into the beans.
I was gonna say I agree with that for sure, but today we got a picture of I don't know what kind of buck it was, very big or small at the pond, was chasing a doe just today.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only chasing we've seen for a while, so it's definitely
Which pond were you
slim
talking
pickings,
about?
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah. Did you see last night? I think that was Merino that was on the trail by the
Oh, really?
by the pond,
it was
right
definitely
behind the
chasing
doe.
because the doe went through first. Yeah.
So with late season come up, your guys' main target probably what's it, Ray?
Yeah, it's
for
got to
sure.
be
One
Ray.
moose.
'Cause-
It's gonna be on hopes and prayers, like you
Rare
said, because
buck.
we haven't had any pictures of him. But
Praying on last year's pictures for him to show up in the same spot again.
I think it's obviously Ray number one, and then I don't know, like that Y10 we got today, just tonight. I don't know if that'd be nice to see him next year. I don't know if we'll shoot that one or not, but probably shoot that 7-pointer if he's wounded. I already let him go once. I got really good footage of him. I let him go right after I got back from Iowa because Snuffy was daylight like the day before, so I was going after him. But I don't know if that 7 is still limping and wounded. We could definitely shoot him. I think Dustin said he thought he was 4 before too, so I don't know. That's probably one you could shoot late season.
Mm-hmm.
If he's
and Snuffy, he's another one that's kind of crawled in a
disappeared
hole too.
yeah.
And but that 10, he'd probably be a little bit hard to pass up. He's wider than shit and and kind of a bonus buck too. He just showed up.
Yeah.
How long ago? So but
like a week before gun season, maybe. Or
yeah,
I don't
probably
know, but
leading up
he's
to.
stuck around pretty consistent now, so I don't know. But
yeah, Ray, he's definitely the target. And I think last year he was a lot more daylight right around this time of year, but I don't know. Him only having 3 sets of pictures so far this year does not make it very encouraging.
What are you going to do? Pretty much just wait on that first picture or the first good cold front, or
Probably just wait to see where he shows up, or I guess if you get a big front coming through, maybe go sit over cut cornfield or something like that. I mean,
I'm glad you mentioned cut cornfield too, because I think that had quite a bit to do with why I didn't see as many deer too, because I feel like they're all in the cut corn, because in all the neighbors around that just cut their corn, I feel like that's where all of the deer were during gun season.
Yeah, and you see that once. I mean, you always hear guys when the combines come in, that night, the deer just going to hammer the cornfields.
Yep.
But and even the bean fields, I mean, obviously that's not as much forage in them because it picks up a lot cleaner. But, I mean, you still see them out there, but not nearly as much as the cornfield.
Yeah, still leaving cobs here and there that for them to pick up.
And I was going to ask you about our plot. We got the standing beans and corn there. What do you think is best? So we got the standing corn. I've heard it from both ways. Do you leave it standing or do you knock it down?
I don't know if you can knock it down.
That's
can you?
illegal,
you can't?
isn't it?
I don't think so, yeah.
Oh, really?
Unbelievable.
Oh,
Well, it was
to
funny
turn you
because we
in.
had you remember that really big storm that we had in December, like 2 years ago, maybe 3? We had standing corn that year, and it literally blew it down. Like, it was all just pinned against the ground.
I suppose you get ice too in there,
Yeah.
and it's probably
And it was like, well, thanks, I guess.
Were they hitting it?
Yeah,
hard?
they were
Yeah.
hammering it after that because all those corn cobs are literally just wide open for them to come up and eat then.
Huh.
Yeah.
I know I saw the one walking back from the last hunt. I don't remember where I was sitting, the double stand way in the back. The bottom cornfield, I was looking on the edges there, and they were picked clean.
Yeah.
Bro. I mean, I don't know how many were in there. Obviously, there's a few rows in, but the couple outside ones, there wasn't a kernel on those things.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really. Well, what's the setup looking like that you're going to try and hunt Ray over? Is it that standing beans and standing corn?
Well, he's never been on ours. We got that on our place, but I think Dave's got a little bit of standing beans and corn, so we'll have to.
Yeah, Dave and Mike have like the same setup because they planted ours. They did like the 3 and come back 3, so you got 6 rows of beans, 6 rows of corn.
Yeah.
And it's probably, I don't know how big that is, maybe an acre.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously you got a bunch of cut cornfields around, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
We had a bunch of pictures of him. I don't know what a bunch, but few pictures of him late season last year in daylight up in the woods where I have that one stand.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I haven't had any pictures of him for a while. So
Yeah. It was the what did I say? The 12th is the last picture of him. I mean,
I have no idea. I'm the one on.
just the last
Russell
picture
Road.
in general
Yeah,
of him is the 12th. So
Yeah.
I don't know. He's sitting in a hole somewhere waiting it out.
Dave's
Smart
got him
man.
tied up in his basement or something.
I guess he can't really
Just
complain
waiting,
if he does make it another
Yeah,
year.
exactly.
I mean, but
Exactly.
But then, do you think he got hit this year?
Yeah.
You think he'd grow weird?
yeah,
Yeah, he definitely could.
It does look like it healed up.
Up now, like normally all the food sources are pretty dull during the rut because they're more interested in does, but
yep,
now they're more focused on food. I feel like those green sources are like the Rack Reaper blend with all the brassicas and like the turnips and everything. They're gonna be hitting those pretty hard, especially the turnips, because those bulbs are just so like sugary and juicy for them now.
Where we have our tank blind that we always have a little section right close to the blind that's green, and then beans and corn out a little farther.
Yep.
But this year the green section didn't turn out very good. I don't think we even planted anything rack fuel there, but it didn't turn out very good. We got it late, and then there was no rain right after we planted it for like 2 weeks. So it's pretty much corn and beans that we have for late season. So I don't know, we'll have to see how if we see it on neighbors or in the hay fields where they're hitting the green plot. I remember last year you were talking about that. Late season, I saw a bunch of deer like driving around or in like even like hay fields.
Hay fields, yeah, big time.
we got up top behind the shack. That one grew up pretty nice.
Oh yeah, that one's good, I guess. But we haven't sat that for bow season until we forgot about it.
No, you'd have to throw up a pop-up blind or something.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where we were talking earlier with moving the cameras, and obviously 95% of our cameras are dead right now, so we need some new batteries. But yeah, I'll probably throw a camera up there on that green source, see what. I know we had that one up there last year to see, and it was kind of hit or miss on coming into that green, but I don't know. I think right now, I mean, and till the end of the winter, I mean, you can't really argue with corn and beans.
Yeah. I'm a standing beans stand for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I love corn too, but it's really hard to hunt standing corn unless you got like a bunch of it already knocked down from the combine and then like leave some like strips of it or whatever, like 20, 30 yards away.
Well, that's kind of what's nice. I know you said you weren't sure about like Mike and Dave's setup with their planter, but it's just got the rows. So it gives you a couple openings with the beans and then corn and then beans. So it gives you, and then with our tank blind setup is we put the green out to, I think it's like 20 yards. So everything within 20 yards is green. And then after that, it's just beans and corn. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We got to get the cams moved around and buy a bunch of batteries right now.
I was over at hanging out with Glenn McHugh today at Club's Choice or whatever, doing some drone stuff and video, and actually got pizza sauce on my sweatshirt today. But after I stopped there, I went to Menards and got 5 24 packs of batteries. $100 later. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
That hurts.
I think with ours, I counted needs like 96 batteries or something. And that's not even counting Iowa.
Did you get lithium batteries or what'd you get?
I just got the Energizer Max ones.
Okay.
I think I'm going to... Blake Whitty, a guy who hunts with us, he gave us a couple of those battery packs. Like, they're like huge. Like, did you see the ones that Dustin used? The mini like car battery?
Okay, yeah.
These ones are even bigger yet. Really? And he gave us one to try, so I'm going to try and hook those up for the late season now too. Those
well, you've never tried anything like that.
Awesome.
No.
Yeah.
I thought Dustin said his didn't work though.
Yeah, I think because he didn't have like a rope. Well, he's got all these cords or whatever, but he didn't have something over top of them.
Oh.
I think I think the squirrels and stuff got into them, and
Oh, gotcha. Probably the mice.
just
Yeah.
wasn't good.
Yeah, you probably don't need lithiums now. I mean, you're going to only have the cameras running another 2 months or something.
I guess you never know, yeah. Do you guys like to leave your cameras out all year then? Till like February, March?
Not all of them, but that year we had Billy a bunch. We left him out till damn near March.
Seems like we take the ones that are all in the woods down.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave a couple on the stuff that we have standing food.
Yep.
Like that one time we had a really good the food plot grew up real good with corn and beans, and there was a ton of deer in there all winter long. We got so many pictures. That was when Billy was around, and a couple other decent bucks. But we don't really leave our cameras on that long. It seems like.
I think we only left probably a handful. I mean, it's kind of nice too to get some shed intel.
Oh, I love. That's why I love running cameras this time of year, because I go out and check them like every other week or whatever, and I'm like, oh, that guy dropped his horn. I might have to go up and look for a little bit.
It's kind of a. I don't know. Those battery packs, I guess I've never looked into that, but I know like Tacticams has all those solar panels, but it's a lot of solar panels for.
Yeah. I got to say, my uncle did buy a bunch of those solar panels this year, and every one that he has out right now is 90 or 100%.
Jesus.
Damn, that must help a lot then.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
It really, like, you could
From
tell.
the start of this, like, bow season?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can really tell, though, because there's some spots where they don't get, like, a lot of sunlight because there's a bunch of leaves around them. So they kind of went down a little bit. And I think we might have had to replace the batteries on a couple of them, but once the leaves dropped, like, it's wild how good they work now.
And, like, even, too, I know I changed a bunch of the settings. So, like, early season, how many deer just congregating in front of the camera at the ponds and in the plots, that you set the delay to 2 minutes or so and turn the sensitivity down, but then come rut time, you turn it back up to 20 or 30 seconds. So that
it says it takes like 24 hours to update. Do you notice if it does that correctly?
Yeah, I think it does,
well,
doesn't it?
No, you can change it now, so you can do it where it's like the settings is instant or timely or
to send them to you?
Huh?
To send,
well,
like,
there's that one
app?
to send the pictures, but for the camera settings, there's an option, I believe, where when you change it, it goes instant or daily or something like that.
Yeah.
But
at the end of the year, do you guys? Well, when do you like cancel your cell cam subscriptions?
So we usually
Coming up here?
deactivate, I don't know, half of the cams.
Yeah.
Here, probably coming up once we move them, see what ones we need and how many you want to leave standing on the food. And I'd say what?
New Year?
Not all of them.
No, it's like,
Yeah.
what do we leave? Well, how many do we have? Like 10, 15?
Yeah, and you probably leave.
We probably leave 4 or 5 out, like through like shed season maybe. But it seems like we deactivate like most of them, except for like when we had Billy when we were trying to find his sheds and stuff. But
probably shut them all off right at the tail end of February. And
I'm shutting off quite a bit of mine here pretty soon, and I'm just gonna run through the chips.
That's what I was gonna say. We should just take all of them down and just
not a
run
bad idea.
regular cams from.
I have like 4 or 5 regular cameras I got to put up yet too, which is nice because those only take 8 batteries compared to 12. You can get 3 of them to their 2, 3 cameras.
Some of our regular cameras are starting to get old and crappy.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that the other day because I had one at my house, and I brought it out there, and it was just a Browning, and you could just tell it looked all weathered, and I was like, oh, man, and then we had one little buck ruin another Moultrie because it was
Did we tell
rubbing
you
on
that?
the tree and tore it down. Yeah,
Did it break that one?
Yep, done.
Yeah.
Donezo. It actually like opened the case a little bit. Like, yeah.
Shit.
So I mean,
But then,
that's the second time that's happened.
Speaking of those old ones, we have one just like an Old Faithful. It's so faded. It's like purple on the camel's like purple, and it still works really good. That
Really?
one's got to be super old.
That's what our blinds are looking like now. We have a bunch of those Radix
Yeah.
blinds, but we
Yeah.
take the covers down every year in the winter, and they look like purple now. They're so faded out from the sun.
That's a good reminder. We should probably do that at the shack plot before we ruin that thing.
Yeah.
Because you never know when an ice storm comes through and just,
Oh,
I don't know how many times that's ruined our pop-up
I was gonna
blinds.
say how many like pop-up blinds have we messed up because we
man.
left them in the winter?
Trust me,
waste
I
so much
know.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they're up there on spots. You're like, I don't know if I can get up there and get that thing down and everything.
You better do it right now before that 8-inch
Yeah.
snowstorm comes
then
in.
they just
remember-
collapse
Yeah.
it.
I remember one time we had the pop-up blind up on the platform before we had the nice blind, and the snow collapsed it. The walls were still good.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out there and was going to put the roof back up and clear the snow, but it must have been like really cold at night and then warm in the day. And it was a big ice block that was in the roof
Yeah.
since it was collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was too big where I couldn't even like hardly lift it. Like it was huge.
Jesus.
And there was 2 chairs in there at the time. So I put them upside down or stacked one upside down on the other to hold the ice block up from breaking the sticks in the thing. That was, I'm pretty sure it still broke eventually because I couldn't take it down.
Probably.
All the sides were froze down and I didn't have anything to like chip away at the ice
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah, you got to take those down before it snows. Otherwise your pop-up blinds are screwed.
That's kind of the beauty of that tank blind we built.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about anything. I mean,
Yep.
those Radex blinds are pretty nice, but you take the covers off those, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Every year, every winter. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad sometimes he texts me, be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go take those covers off." It's like middle of December. I'm like, I wanted to sit there. Yeah. What are you talking about?
You can still sit there.
Yeah. Sit on the ground next to it. That'd be funny sitting out there up in the open with no cover.
Gotta
Good
hide
luck
behind
moving in that thing.
the metal frame, hide behind
Yeah.
the little poles.
Get your snow camo.
Yeah, I know. Did you guys have any Radix? Is that what?
We have one that's like a off-brand type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't even know what that thing's called, but
Do you have like a mat for the floor on it too?
Like a
Little cushion thing?
outdoor carpet.
it's just that's it.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
actually going to tell you we should put
That's the
something a
move.
little more like a foam on it because you can definitely tell kind of echoes a little bit
yeah.
just because it's just the plywood basically on the platform. But
Oh yeah, we have they have these little mats that you pretty much just all push together, and those things get messed up by squirrels and
oh yeah,
mice and everything that crawl in there, and yeah, they make the stands so squeaky too. I feel like carpet would be the move. In some
What
of those.
about what chairs do you use? We have like a old office chair in
Oh,
our
yeah.
tank blind, and that thing sucks.
I
It's so
hate it.
loud. Anytime you move,
Yeah,
it sucks.
Those-
we gotta get nicer.
those Radix chairs that they have too are really nice.
We gotta get
is it a
something
chair
like
or
that.
a stool?
It's like kind of a chair / stool. It's got 4 little legs on it. And you can fold it up, and
Okay,
some of them have just one part, and you can go up and down. So it's more of a stool on that one. But
yeah, that office chair when I was sitting there this last weekend for gun season.
took a nap.
First time there. It was afternoon and I get up there. I'm like, oh man, it's getting a little warm in here. That was when the sun came out and it's like, I got to open these windows, stand up, and that thing pops up. And I was like, Jesus, probably hear that thing echo throughout the
Oh my
woods.
God.
Or I can just pull a Damon and just have a lazy boy up in there.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Him and Dustin are getting.
I can't
close together
believe
now.
that. He's probably
Yeah.
just laying back taking a nap. That's why that buck snuck up on him so
Yeah,
bad.
probably. Oh man, late season hunt. No. What do you guys do to prepare for the cold weather this time of year? Do you just wear more layers,
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
more under
We
layers,
don't
and
hunt.
everything?
Other than the one tank blind, we have a little buddy heater, but
I guess I've never done a ton of late season hunt. Not when it's been cold. I think Man, the last time I was out late season was a long time ago behind Mike and Dave's cabin, where I actually had a decent buck come in.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember if they said if he was a shooter or not, so I let him go, and that was cold. But other than that, I think the coldest, I don't know, maybe the latest. I don't even know if I've hardly hunted past Christmas. It seems like now, like,
yeah,
it's like thinking about it's like, oh, hunting season's done. And then,
yeah. After gun season, kind of feels that
almost,
way.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, a lot of times, like we were talking earlier, if bucks make it past the 9-day, it's like you don't want to shoot them because they're gonna be real nice next year. But
and that's the problem. It's like, how do you decide?
Yeah,
I mean, if it's a local buck that you know, like Marino this year, it's like, okay, we had him all year, so it's like, he should be off limits. But like that 10, it's like, okay, he just showed up right before gun season, but he's still got potential to do a lot.
Didn't Mike and Dave have pictures of him earlier though? So I don't think he's like a total bonus buck.
I don't know. I sent it to Dave, and he was complaining because he wasn't standing at the right angle on the camera. He said, "Can you please send another one?"
No, he said, "Can you tell the deer to stand more centered in the camera?" All right, I'll get right on that.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave. How's it going? If I listen to this right now.
So that's always the weird thing that I go over come late season. It's like, if you do want to go out there, like even when we had Billy a lot, it's like, man, I really want to go kill him.
Yeah.
But he made it through the gun season, so it's like, he's got a freebie.
You can tell Billy broke Cole's heart. He brought him up like 10 times already. Sound like Dustin over here.
Yeah.
There's 2 bucks out there that I'd still probably shoot. There's Haspula that I've been after pretty much all year. That's 5.5 years old. And there's Mr. Krabs, another buck that I've been after pretty much all year. That one buck, I saw him on Mr. Krabs. I saw him on like November 1st.
How old is that one?
I'm pretty sure he's 5.5 too. He's got some really cool character, and he's been pretty dang local lately too.
Yeah.
I just got a picture of him today at like 4:20, just cruising through the woods. But I have a camera that the setup that I have for him is kind of more. I mean, I have like a 20 yard, but like 20 yard little. I think it's a Rack Reaper, the Rack Reaper blend. Got that right by the blind, and then I got a bunch of mixture of like forage beans and just regular beans. And my cousin-in-law just was out there last weekend, and he said there's some beans left, so maybe good for a push out there late season. Hopefully there's a little more beans for him to eat. It keeps them coming to him. Speaking
of sitting over beans, you might be down there in Iowa sitting over beans, huh?
Yeah, I was
Never
just
talked about that.
Can you hunt shotgun season with a bow in Iowa?
No,
I didn't
which
think
is
so.
weird. I think that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
When I was down there on my vacation, that was the first thing I asked Damon was if you could do it like Wisconsin, take your bow during gun season down there. And he said, no, they completely close it. Because then if that was the case where you could go bow hunting, I was like, oh, I could go back like Wisconsin gun.
Get on the beach.
Or like this week now, which it closes, I think, tomorrow. But yeah, now it doesn't open back up until the 18th. But so you got 2 or 3 weeks until then, and you just hope those beans don't get picked over. But I think it's like 2-3 acres of standing beans. So
there's a good amount of beans down there, but
there's a lot of deer.
Kyle said there's a lot of deer.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. Just even then, I mean, it's not like it's mid-January where you know those beans will be toast. I mean, it's 3 weeks, so you'd think they'd still be coming back to browse through them. But
you've kind of got some. Well, you got one for sure, new buck, didn't you?
That one showed up. I don't know if he's I think he's an 8 with missing brow, so he's a 7.
7 because he got a broken brow.
He's a big frame, but that bastard won't give me a good picture of him. He's got one where he came up to the scraping. He's got his head straight up, so you're just looking at his chin. And then
he looks big in that picture.
That was the one I was thinking of, yeah.
That one, and then I just got one recently of a buck who's freaking 40 yards away from the camera walking away, and I mean, it's daylight. It was like 10 a.m.
I think it's the same one for sure.
I think it is, but it's like
What do you do?
Yeah, that
The video that we tried the video on
Oh yeah,
Tacticams.
sent a
It
video
was
the other day,
it was a crappy video because
Yeah.
he's too far away. But have you done that on Tacticam much?
No, because I don't have the
You have to have the
newer
new-
Tacticams. Yeah,
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
I have all the X, like the second version of the X.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other was, the X Pro or the Pro
It's
or
the
something.
Gen
like
2X or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know, but yeah, I don't. That video would be pretty nice if you had one like early season, but yeah, come rut where they're freaking flying through or something like that. I mean,
that. Yeah.
but I know Kyle, he's got I don't know if it's shotgun or muzzleloader down there, what tag he has, but he'll be down there this weekend and he's going to move the cameras to the beans. So
Oh, nice.
should get a lot more
That'll be
better
awesome.
intel instead.
Yeah.
They're sitting on the rut spots right now.
Yeah,
but-
that'll be very nice to have.
Yeah, so
Moving a
he's
little
going to
closer.
double them up on 2 cameras on each plot. So
That might be money though, because you got 2 different bean plots, right? And they're
Yep.
both an acre or more.
Mhm.
yeah, at least an acre,
And,
and they're a long ways away too. So it's not like they're
you
200-300 yards. Where
deer.
yeah, so you could definitely have some separate deer because
got
they're
that-
probably at least 800 yards away. I mean, probably 1,000
Did you
Yeah.
see any other like standing crops around that property?
standing.
Or just anything from some like late season food?
No, it's just big crop fields down there. Actually, around that area, there wasn't really. The neighbor to the south has a bunch of CRP. The one smaller piece to the north had a little cornfield, but other than that, I mean, my main piece has all top access cut bean field. So I think the only
Dang.
thing standing would basically be that. I mean,
Just think of the vacuum that thing could be. Just
You got
sucking in
the-
all the deer.
You got that big wide 8 or 7 now, and then you have that.
the 10 that came
I
in,
thought it was a 9.
or a 9 that came in right at dark.
That thing with a huge body. So
Yep.
you know you got 2 shooters because we got pictures of that one just the other day,
Yep.
and the 8s. So those are still alive, pretty sure. So
Yeah.
that'll be.
And
I
then
think
like
that could
you
be
said-
money sitting late season if it's definitely or especially if it gets cold again. So
Yeah, and then like you said, you never know when those deer start moving. They find
Yeah.
a food source. I mean, what comes in, moves in and sits over those beans.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it, like you said, with it being money. I mean, it's probably just gonna be easier.
Big time.
I mean,
yeah.
you're hunting the rut. I mean, everyone likes the rut. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you see shit chasing,
Yep.
going wild, but it's tough to hunt too. I mean,
Late season and early season are definitely a little more easier on a guy to try to tell where a deer's going to be at.
yep.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the rut's for target bucks, even like late season and early season, that's the time to kill them.
Yep.
Rut,
Yeah,
you
so-
just got to get lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hopefully we don't get a foot of snow because both those spots are like 600 yards away. So it might kind of,
to take the
Get a nice little
snowmobile.
walk.
yeah.
Take a snowmobile to the stand. That'd be a first.
Yeah.
Just bring Jake down there just to drop you off and bring you back. Are you gonna go down and film if he heads down there again?
Yeah, I kind of want to. So
That'd be
hopefully,
sweet.
yeah.
I bet you guys will see a lot of deer, especially.
And
if
you
the
won't have to
conditions
really
are
like grind it out either. I mean, basically afternoon
Just sit
hunts
for
and
2.5, 3 hours.
yeah. So
No, we gotta sit all day.
yeah. Yeah.
Good luck.
No, I'm not listening to you whenever you say that again.
Iowa still got hope for Iowa.
All day
Yeah.
paid off for me in Iowa.
True.
You gotta listen.
True.
Well, yeah, in Iowa, not up here when you told me to sit all day and
Yeah.
we saw 3 deer. But no, that was kind of the beauty of the lease down there is just gives you the chance now. I mean, if you did, I mean, even with your public, you can still go down there, which the public would have been a lot different late season. I mean,
Yeah, true.
not really hunting food at all, but
Yeah.
Like when we go shed hunting, there's always crops on some of the public pieces. I don't think there's any crops on the one where I was hunting, but I always wonder like who plants that.
I think a farmer just comes in and plants them. I think
Like the state
pays them
pays
to.
a farmer
Yeah.
I
to
think
do
so.
it.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Well,
Yeah.
all those ones that we were walking in Northeast Iowa last year, like there was a lot of standing.
Well, didn't
crops
you
farm.
find like all your sheds in cornfields?
Yeah, all in
Which
the
is-
corn too.
Freaking hell of a feed because it seems like that's
Yeah.
impossible to
I
find
know.
them in corn.
yeah, that
Your
one
heart
spot
skips
you
a beat
had.
in those ones.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, the shed hunting is probably a different topic because it's been so hit or miss down there.
True.
But you'd think just the crops would be crazy down there. And with the amount of deer I saw during the rut during my vacation, I can't even imagine how many deer are going to be flocking to those acre beans.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome to get some late season footage there too.
Yeah, you could swack a doe too.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised they give you a buck and a doe tag.
Oh yeah, yep. I think I did know that. Might as well.
Hey, you could even
said
shoot
you had
one
to fill
too.
the freezer. Yeah.
You shoot 3 deer in one night down there.
Oh, one arrow.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Shoot one, pick it up, back to the stand. Do you guys shoot like the same, close to the same poundage and everything, or no?
I think it's like the exact same.
Draw length too.
His might be a touch longer than mine, but probably not that much longer.
You're just a little guy.
Save weight.
They're definitely both 70 pound.
Yeah.
You have a Halon still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save room. Just bring one bow.
Yeah.
Dustin shot a doe with my bow, and he's got probably a 30-inch draw. Mine's a 26.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive, honestly, from Dustin. He was probably super short on that.
Well, we actually practiced that in the summer.
He made a good shot too, didn't he?
Really good shot. Yeah. That deer didn't go 50 yards.
That's
probably
awesome.
Yeah, that was badass. Mine was like right underneath me, and I shot her low. I should have angled it up a little bit more. I thought I like heart shot her, and she ran off, and you could see her lay down. I'm like, I got her.
You can just go look at all the comments from my deer and figure out how to shoot good spots on deer. It's pretty interesting reading all of those.
We've been putting out those YouTube shorts and Instagram reels and stuff, and you got professional hunters behind every corner. I just never knew about till now.
I actually love. There's 2 or 3 guys on the post from my buck because you asked rate this shot or whatever. There's 2 or 3 people right away that made like they called it a 0 just sarcastically. Mm-hmm. There's like 15 comment or replies to those. Dude, are you stupid?
I hope you're not serious, dude.
Those are the funniest ones.
I think I saw one too. Someone was like, I'm new to hunting. I don't know. Can someone please tell me if this was a good shot or something? Like that?
I didn't see that one.
And people were going back and forth about that. You gotta love the internet.
Good old, social media.
It's like, sometimes. Well, that might wrap up episode 6. I think we might have a guest in the near future. You don't have to listen to us talk all the time. We'll get some.
Maybe we'll try to get an expert on here.
Yeah, no crap. Someone who knows what they're talking about. But yeah, keep grinding. If you got a target buck out there and you got some standing food left, now's the time to get after them. Might as well. What do you got to lose?
Yep, sure.
Good luck, everybody.
Yep, see ya.